Actually, I'm going to talk about the PGS Organic Council and the work which has been going on in PGS since 2005-6 in India. Actually, we are a misfit for this particular session because this is not a government initiative, and neither there are any what's that word from the government, support to the government as far as the PGS Organic Council. A little bit about the PGS Organic Council is the largest grouping of NGOs in India since the inception of PGS. We've been operating since April 2006, but we only got a chance to register ourselves as a society in 2011. When the National Center of Organic Farming was forming the rules and guidelines for PGS India, we were one of the major stakeholders in consultation with NCO to form it. So much so that if you pick up the PGS documents for NCOF, a large portion of the literature has actually been taken from the documents which we created way back in 2005-6. And PGS Organic Council is the sole representative of PGS in India in IFOAM. So, this is a little bit about the status. These are the various NGOs which are part of the PGS Organic Council. Some of them are part of here as well. Organic Farming Association of India. We saw the film from Deccan Development Society, that is part of the PGS. Anita Paul, who was here yesterday, they are part of PGS. Sibaktu Collective, Chetna Vikas. So we are all working together on the idea of PGS in India. I think I just probably just skim through this because Dr. Bisoi has already explained a little bit about PGS as a general concept and a principle. So we will probably just spend a few seconds on this. And the only thing is that the basic standard for PGS was already published in so many languages, and it's already available to various farmers in various states working under these organizations. And the one key aspect to this is that we are not limited to having a written document per se as far as the farmer's pledge is concerned. Even a video recording or an audio tape recording where a farmer takes a pledge, because pledge is something that we consider most important in the domain of PGS, even that works for us. We don't really have to go and make a farmer do all the written documentation. A little bit about the PGS. The foundations are the local groups. They are the most important. They are the ones who form the core of the ideals of PGS. And as far as the connect between the farmers, consumers and the buyers or traders are concerned, there's just one point I'd like to make. PGS hinges itself on the idea of transparency. That if we are ruthlessly transparent in all our dealings, only then we will be able to achieve the levels of honesty, integrity in organic farming that we are talking about. Currently, that is surprisingly missing in the third-party certification system. There is the idea of trust. You will find a certain distinction between the PGS given in the National Center of Organic Farming draft and the ones which we have been following since 2005-6 is that we have taken the level of compliance a little higher. For us, we use the analogy that either a woman is pregnant or she is not pregnant. There is nothing in between. So either you're completely organic or you're not. So one of the ideas that we try to follow in PGS is that let's say there is a farmer. He has dispersed areas under cultivation. Maybe let's say total 20 acres. 5 acres he is doing chemical farming. 5 acres he is doing organic farming. Then he cannot get PGS. So PGS is the certification of the farmer, not of the farmland. That inside his heart, he is organic, and he or she are organic. Thanks for the correction. And only then do the ethos of PGS start. Okay, so this is a little bit about growth of the local groups since January 2008 all the way till January 2011. You see initially there is a fourfold increase, and then gradually say about 1,500 members added year on year, and this is the current position under various organizations. OFI, Keystone Foundation, CCD in Odisha. Also, there are some groups. Yesterday there was a gentleman. Yesterday they got their PGS certificate, so we need to increase the number here again. Green Foundation, etc., etc. And the current position is this: total 502 local groups in various parts of the country. And the total number of membership base to 5,270 PGS certified groups, members in the country. A little bit about our expectations as a group of NGOs. What is it that we would like to expect out of this whole system? One key thing that we really like is that the resource persons who are responsible for a particular group, they themselves should be experienced organic farmers rather than just picking up any farmer, and because it's important who the leader is in trying to implement the ideals of PGS. Some of these are just general statements, so you can just go through them. Another thing that we want to do is do a lot of research, but do a lot of village-based research, not really in the sense of a scientific research per se, wherein we get a scientist, he does soil analysis, this, that, but we rely on the research efficacy of the farmers themselves. There is a lot of traditional knowledge available across the country, and the farmers are the best scientists today. They can tell us, what is right, what is wrong, rather than someone from the lab going, this is what our belief is. And we have held to that to quite quickly, and we've seen a lot of successful implementations to this as far as the tribal and the forest areas are concerned, and it's been quite successful there. I'll talk a little bit about what is the recent ongoing initiative in our PGS Organic Council. You would see that most of the organizations which are part of PGS are also helping the marketing initiative. Most of them have a marketing linkage, direct marketing linkage. OPI doesn't do marketing per se, since it's a collection of organizations. But IIRD, the first photograph that you saw, this one, this is a PGS heart, an organic heart in Aurangabad, which is organized regularly by Indian Institute of Rural Development. And similarly, there's Deccan Development Society. They have market linkages. Grassroots has market linkages. Timbuktu, Chetna Vikas, Green Foundation. Green Foundation works more on seeds and those kind of and more. All of these have market linkages. So since all of us have some manner or another of market access, we would want to create a collateral marketing platform. So we have these small little network of green shops across the country, sprinkled across the country, doing our own little thing. So we are trying to explore an opportunity where all of us can link up on a pan-Indian basis. So essentially the idea is that we need to, if we can explore, this is just an experimental idea, if we can explore something that we deem like a spherical but a surplus supply chain, wherein if there are any natural surpluses available with one particular group which you would like to sell out, then you spherically try to send it out to the next possible neighboring closest PGS group and see if we can scale it on a pan-Indian basis. It's still work in progress. We will probably meet later during this month in Goa, I think on the 25th of August, and discuss and thrash out the details again. Another thing that we wanted to discuss is this idea of life agriculture as opposed to organic. Even on international forums, even with IFOAM, we are having these very strong discussions where we are trying to, if not reduce the impact, if not get rid of completely, but reduce the impact of using this word called organic. All of us use in India, we use Kshendriya Kheti, Jaivik Kheti, and all these terms that we have. Similarly, in most Asian countries, hardly people, when they talk amongst each other, they hardly use the word organic. They have their own local terms for this. And what we feel is that this word organic is very limited because it does not include all manners of sustainability in itself. So we would want to take it to a process wherein we recognize and respect the idea of life agriculture. When we say Jaivik Kheti, Kshendriya Kheti, all of this has to do with life. Whereas that word organic is a little dubious. So this is another thing that OPI in Hindi is called Sajiv Bharati Krishi Sangh. So and this is important. We are of the idea that small scale retail, large number of small scale retailers will probably be more efficient and should succeed than creating large behemoths. So this is one thing that we are banking upon. We are trying to create 1,000 brands, as opposed to what was spoken yesterday, that there cannot be many brands. We are not a believer in that. We think there can be many brands, and there is space for as many number of groups there are in India, that many brands can exist simultaneously. And some of the issues that we want to discuss is the one with FSSAI, and also improve our stakeholding with the National Center of Organic Farming and Regional Center of Organic Farming. This is the link of the various NGOs which are part of PGSOC. And thank you.